calling an end to the genocide and the recognition of a Palestinian state. Yes, it's a foreign affairs matter, but
from a range of a functioning democracy and a dysfunctioning democracy, could you place us somewhere in between where we sit? And if you can talk about what are the telltale signs of a functioning democracy, what should be seen for an average person, or what's the experience of an average person for us to believe it's a functioning democracy or a dysfunctioning one?
That is going to definitely require some time to actually think of where we actually sit.
Mm-hmm.
But the signs of a functioning democracy, and again, depends. Like, are we talking about the government? Are we talking about the opposition? Are we talking about us as a nation? Because that again has so many layers of not just bureaucracy and elected officials conducting themselves, but just the way people would respond to whether it's a functional democracy or not. But from my short experience and time in the Senate, I've realised that the current government, the Labor Party, they show a facade of democracy, but it really isn't democratic. There is nothing democratic about a cult-like mentality of imposing a century-old rules on modern-day Australia and hoping to just get away with it. The fact that, I crossed the floor on a matter of calling an end to the genocide and the recognition of a Palestinian state. Yes, it's a foreign affairs matter, but through a democratic process where rank and file members had come together at a national conference of the Labor Party, voted and heavily debated on recognising the state of Palestine as a matter of priority, and that being put in a platform, yes, democratically voted, yes, you had people saying no and people saying yes, but the consensus was that we as in the Labor Party, will recognise it. Now, come the time when you've actually come into power, you've won government, and you don't implement that, and when one of your own elected members vote against it, instead of presenting them with a conscience vote and saying, you know what, that was a matter of conscience for you and that was totally, within your right to do so as a member that was democratically elected by the people of Western Australia, you're within your own rights to make that decision. But no, it was you must stick within the caucus lines. So someone else dictates what you've got to do, despite your members wanting you and calling on you to make a decision, but you hold back because you're listening to foreign powers. You're listening to other nations that have self-interest. And I think, I did not see any level of democracy going through that whole experience where I was like, well, it should be within my own right to be able to voice my concerns. We were talking about service. As elected officials, it's within your purview to go and talk to your constituents, right? To listen to their concerns and understand what's going on and how you can elevate their concerns and voices in Parliament. What happens in a situation when you go to meet with a constituency, university students on campus, and then you get a call literally a few hours later from a senior colleague saying, who did you get clearance? Who did you get permission to go talk to these students? Why did you not give anyone the heads up? Why didn't you get standard lines to be able to talk to these students? And it's almost like, so I can't do the most basic aspect of my role as a senator for the state and listen to students who disagree with the government's position and they want their voices heard. So tell me how that is democratic. Or
the basic rights of freedom of thought and speech. And it just appears to, day by day, the whole structure is starting to just fade away. We're not seeing any level of democratic freedom in communicating our thoughts. I mean, the social media ban, yes, parents out there think it's the best thing ever for anyone under 16 to not be able to access social media. But did you know that the consultation period was only 24 hours long?
The government gave Australians 24 hours to submit their concerns about this ban. So we're saying that we can lock up children as young as 10 years old, but those same 10-year-olds are not allowed social media. We can get young people as young as, 15 to start working or, jump on their L's or whatever, but they can't have social media. Like that is, I don't know what direction they're headed, but it just doesn't look right.